Well, I came to Envision first in 2012 when I was traveling by myself for the first time. And I'd been living in Guatemala at the time, and I came down to Envision just to find my path. And what I found there was that I wanted to be a singer, and I wanted to share my music, and that was my path. So that was 4 years ago. So I came down to Envision this year to share my music, and I got to have a set on the lineup, which is so wonderful and so exciting as a singer, as a musician. And so I really came down here to just share what I've been working on for the past 4 years musically, and to celebrate and come back to a place that holds so much power for me and has been so meaningful in my life. So I describe my music as neo-soul-tronica, which is kind of a blend of a few different genres. I feel like my voice has a very sensual quality to it. So that's the neo-soul element. And then I work with different electronic producers, as well as I work myself with Ableton to produce the backing tracks to my songs. So that's the electronica part. So it's a fusion of electronic beats and elements with the neo-soul vibe of my songwriting style.
And what do you want people to feel when they're seeing a Cherokee performance?
When people are seeing a Cherokee performance, I want people to feel alive and embodied and in their own body wisdom and in their own intuitive feeling sense of themselves and their kinesthetic bliss. So I studied dance in college, and I've always been a dancer and interested in yoga and movement art, and I learned this term called proprioception, and it's where you sense your reality from a place of inner, like your body, inside of your body, as well as externally, like the physical things around you. And it's this constant communication with your body as a vessel and as a tool to relate to and understand this physical world that we're in. And so for me, being in the body wisdom is to come from that place rather than overthinking. We tend to overthink things, and so for me, it's coming out of that, coming below that layer of thoughts, and just being really here, like in this vessel of the body that we all have, and being joyful and really sensory and aware in that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell me about someone you love.
Okay.
And why you love them.
Well, I mean, the first person that comes to mind is my new collaborator, Isaac of Subaqueous, and we just met this year right after New Year's, and we fell into the most ecstatic creative flow that I've ever experienced in my life. And the way that we write songs together is so open and full of potency and potential and acceptance of who we are, that it made me realize that the collaborator in my life, the relationship between myself and a collaborator is one of just the most magical relationships I've ever experienced. And so it just feels like we're riding on the edge of our possibility together.
And what qualities do you look for in a collaborator?
What qualities do I look for in a collaborator? I look for, the first thing is that we have an aligned sense of the kind of music we want to create. So what tempo we feel, the kind of vibe of the music that we want to create. So often we'll listen to reference tracks and be like, okay, this is where I'm thinking about going, and what about you? And then if that matches up, then it's like, awesome, we're on the same page. We know we want to create something similar enough to where what grows out of our collaboration will be like really juicy and like feel really good for both of us. So that's, yeah, kind of the biggest thing. And there's so many other pieces to collaboration. You know, I could really go into it, but really just having a sense of openness for where the creation wants to go, and like just aliveness in the process. Yeah. So.
Very cool. What would you say is one of your biggest challenges? It can be as an artist or just as a human being, like, and what has dealing with that in your life like taught you about yourself or about life?
One of my biggest challenges has been, both in my life and in my art, to step into my fullness and really show up as who I authentically am, because I've felt that it's either not okay or too much or too big or too sensual, you know? And so as a woman, you know, I feel like this process of diving into my art has also been a personal healing process of like taking off the layers of who I'm not, to really find like who I am and what I really do have to say to the world and what I do want to say to the world, and then actually just coming up with that, sharing it, and then holding space and not having any expectation to how it will touch, move, or affect people, but just really, as long as I know that it is coming from myself and from my truth, then allowing that to be enough. So just the growth of finding my authentic truth, sharing it, and then letting it be enough. So I got to play my set last night on the Village stage, which was really beautiful. Except for that, there was a couple of torrential downpours that started happening right before I was supposed to go on stage, and so they shut down the stage twice. And so I had to be there with the rain protecting my computer and just be patient and just kind of let go of all expectations. And finally the power did come back on, so I got to perform. Once I started performing, everything felt really amazing. The audience was so supportive and just feeling it. It felt really good. It felt really nice to be able to like dance in the mud on the stage and like just be in the tropical elements. And I did have to cut a few of my songs. I had to cut my set short, unfortunately. So, but everything happens for a reason, and there's blessings to everything, because I just found out that I'm going to be able to play a short set tonight on the main stage in between the headlining acts of the festival. So I'm super excited. It's like, I couldn't imagine anything more, a better consolation prize. And I'm just so excited to see what that's going to be like tonight.
Awesome.
Yay!
Blackbird singing low inside your flight, fly through a night, it's alright, 'cause I know that it is written. We are written in the sands of time, rolling over how we are sublime. We are written in the sands of time, saying, oh, oh. you'll make with your hands match the flame in his wild dance. There is enough sacrifice in the world to be paid. You can't give what is yours. Because we know we are the dreamers. We are racing in the sands of time, rolling over how we are sublime. We are racing in the sands of time, singing, oh, 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 oh. We're racing in the sands of time, rolling over how we are sublime. We are racing in the sands of time, singing, oh, 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 oh. Do you hear the whispers in the wind telling you to just begin? Do you hear the writing on the wall telling you to trust the fall? Do you see the roses in my hands blossoming for you to take a chance? Do you hear the whisper telling you to give up? We are racing in the sands of time, rolling over how we are sublime. We are racing in the sands of time, singing, oh, 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 oh. We're racing in the sands of time, rolling over how we are sublime. We are racing in the sands of time, singing, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 yeah. We are waiting.
All right, so it's Monday morning. Envision
Monday
Festival is over. How long have you been awake?
I've been awake for the better part of 72 hours.
How do you feel?
Exhausted. My feet are killing me. My hands are dirty. My fingernails have lots of dirt under them. And I'm sunburned.
Can you tell me about some of the most memorable experiences that you've had?
Oh, there have been so many. So many, but really, truly, the two directional, memorable experiences have been rooting into the earth, literally getting my hands into the sand and the roots of the banyan trees, and then performing on stage with all my friends, all new musicians, and bringing my art. So it's been a really awesome fusion of rooting in to the earth and simplicity, and also doing the performing thing on stage.
And tell me, what do you feel like you learned about yourself as a person?
Wow. What do I feel like I learned about myself as a person?
Through this experience, yeah.
I feel like I learned about myself as an integrated human being that has so many parts that are real and vulnerable and imperfect and angry and messy, and how those parts are just as important as all the other parts of myself that are pursuing my dreams and feeling passionate and really feeling like they've got their stuff together. The other parts of me are just as important, and feeling like I've learned that I can't abandon myself.
What does that mean to you?
That means that no matter what I'm feeling, I can just choose to stay. Stay with it and stay through it, as hard as it may seem, and as much as I might run away sometimes. I have the choice to stay with it, and that's what will allow me to feel closer to myself and others, and have more intimacy in my friendships and in my life, and more closeness in my heart and in all my relationships.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your whole journey and your just yourself. You know?
Thank you.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you for seeing me. For all of it. All of who I am.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.